welcome to the Professionally Profane podcast. I am Dave Ritterhoff, joined as always by my good friend, Mr. PCVIV, Phil Charles Vander Hayden IV. Mr. Phil, hello, sir. How are we doing today?
I am fantastic, Davey. How are you doing, man?
Dude, I am living the dream. Let me tell you something, man, because I've had a banner weekend as far as my personal athletic accomplishments go. I started off the weekend. I got to tell you, I went 3 for 3 in softball on Friday night. We got a big win over one of the better teams in our league. Followed it up on Saturday by shooting a nice round of golf, 82, and then showed the stamina by staying up late with you, my friend, to watch Saturday night's main event, followed by a great Cubs win today on Sunday the 25th, and my favorite soccer team clinched a Champions League berth in Europe with Chelsea FC getting a big win over Nottingham Forest. I am absolutely on top of the world right now, Mr. Phil. What about you, man? What's new in your world, my friend?
Riding high, man. Riding high. And, I don't know if we ever told our viewers, but when we went to the NFL draft, you did go 4 of 4 on that quarterback challenge.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to brag, but if you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's proof. I said it. He was 4 of 4 on the quarterback challenge. It was pretty impressive. That would be on the vlog that my dad is still editing, but trust me, guys, it's going to be worth it. The vlog is it's coming along real nice. It's going to be fucking hilarious. You guys are going to love it. Fuck Green Bay. And that's really the whole theme of the video. So can't wait to slam dunk on that, as my friend Dave would say, that hillbilly podunk fucking town. So it's everything they deserve, and it's everything we're going to serve them during the season. But
yes,
you know what?
Because
and considering how good these Bears are going to be this season, it's a shame that we don't have better media representing them, Davey.
You know what? I think you may have inspired me with that comment, Phil. Maybe we should talk about that in a little bit. Maybe our loyal listeners know exactly what I'm talking about there. We will see. But I do want to, before going through our housekeeping, make sure to notate that as a reminder, with that podunk hillbilly town, Green Bay, Caleb Williams is undefeated there. Has never lost at Lambeau Field. Just want to make that very clear. He might never lose there, ever. I don't know.
Never. Probably not.
He hasn't done it yet. Until it happens, he's never done it. We are super excited to have you here today. Thank you for joining us on Professionally Profane. If you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to give us a follow over on Spotify as well. If you're watching us on Spotify, we do put videos on Spotify now. You can go over to YouTube. If you know what? Hey, man, I always say, let's give him a quick smile, Phil. Give him a smile on 3. 1, 2, 3. Look at those pearly whites on Phil, man. Isn't he adorable? If you are watching or listening, don't forget we are on social media. We are on Twitter/X @ProfanePod. You could search Professionally Profane on Facebook to find us there as well. Yeah, man, we are all over the place. Wherever you listen to podcasts, as long as it's either Spotify or YouTube, we are there. Let's jump in. Oh, you know what, Phil, before I jump in, where can people find you specifically? Where's your personal handles at, my friend?
You can find me at JayCPhil, JayCPhil, or you can find me doing just another year Chicago Bulls work at JayChi_Bulls. And then you can also find me hanging out with Davey on Twitter at ProfanePod. And soon to be coming, we'll have another social media, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
I like it. Oh, so many illusions, great things happening today. Little spoilers. I love to see it. You can find me at DaveyDots17, and soon enough, man, I'm going to say it. You can find me in the bleachers of Wrigley Field, because I think the top news story this week, I know OTAs happen. We'll talk about those in just a little bit. But, man, right now, the biggest thing going in Chicago are these Cubbies, man. I got to support them on the show today, because this is one of the best. This is, I would say, without a doubt, the most exciting team in all of baseball. One of the best teams in baseball. They just completed 2 huge comebacks this weekend, beating the Reds on Friday and Sunday night, down 4 runs in both of those games, and came back to win both of them, putting up a ton of runs. The offense is a ton of fun. Phil, I know you're a White Sox fan, but I'm sure you can relate. Actually, I don't know if you can relate. The point I was going to make was, I mean, when was the last time a Chicago team you felt just is never out of a game? They go down and you go, I think they can still win this ball game or this puck game if you're a hockey fan.
You know what? I'm going to cop out. It was this past season. It was the Chicago Bulls. We were the kings of the fourth quarter. We scored more points in the fourth quarter than any other team in the NBA. We had more fourth quarter comebacks than any other team in the NBA. Not quite to the level of the Cubs. I'll give you that. But there was multiple times. I mean, the Lakers comeback where Giddey ended up in the half court shot comes to mind, where we were down by like 16 points in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes to go, and we just went on a tear, something like that. So, the Bulls made me feel this year like they're never really out of a game. But as far as a contending team that made me feel that way, I guess it would be the 2006 Chicago Bears. The Bears are who they thought we were. I'm sorry, the Bears are who we thought they were. Dennis Green, I think RIP, that's what I thought. RIP Dennis Green, but man, gave us one of the most memorable sports clips in my life. And Devin Hester and Brian Urlacher literally just put the team on their back and carried us to victory, as they did many times that season. So absolutely. I feel like, for contending teams, that probably does it, man. But I know PCA has been absolutely killing it for the Chicago Cubs this year. And I know Seiya Suzuki has also been nailing it for the Cubs. As a White Sox fan, it's a little rough. You guys took us behind the barn, the barn and roughed us up a little bit during the Crosstown Classic, but it's to be expected. And I guess, like, out of all of the rivalries that we have in Chicago, the one that I can stomach losing the most is losing to another Chicago team, even though it still makes me sick.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's actually super fair. And I will say it, man. I think that I have a lot more faith in PCA and Seiya Suzuki and Kyle Tucker than I do Rex Grossman. So, the Cubs being that spot, being the same level as that team, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. There's no John Tate on the Chicago Cubs right now, but they do have a few guys that can star for any baseball team in the country, man. I mean, the grand slam from PCA the other day is that's the definition of absolutely fucking cool. I mean, that is one of those moments you'll remember where you were when you saw that home run and you saw his reaction to it. I mean, what is cooler than the javelin throw, pounding your chest, running the bases, screaming, getting hyped, the whole place is going crazy, and all that to cap off a huge comeback. That is you'll remember where you were for that game sort of moment. And then to come back today, they score early and then give up a ton of runs. They're way behind. And again, man, again. And I tweeted about it from our pro fan account. All I keep hearing about from Cubs fans every time they lose a game, even if sometimes the games you're going to look at and go, I can't believe we lost. The Marlins game that they lost in the middle where they blew the save, that's a game. Yes, you're going to look back at the end of the year and say, I can't believe we lost that game. They have so many more games this year where you go, I can't believe they won that game. That if you lose a game you should have won, I feel like if you win two that you should have lost, I feel like you're on the positive side. I can't dwell on those losses as a fan if we're doing all these great things on the other side. I don't know.
Well, no, because the point of sports is to dwell on the positive, Davey. It's to take positive things away from what you're watching and have fun and believe. Sports aren't supposed to be about all gloom and doom and, oh my God, our life sucks and why can't we just win every game 10-0 and never ever have any doubt in our lives. The best thing to me about sports is the roller coaster and the triumphs with the disappointments. But you shouldn't focus solely on the disappointments, and you shouldn't focus solely on the negative, especially in sports where you're just doing it wrong, man.
I'm super with you, man. And that's kind of one of the things. I have friends that are like very like level-headed about sports. And I'm like, dude, if you can't be a meatball, what are you doing watching sports? That's the entire point, is to get the highest of highs. And yes, the lowest of lows are going to come with that. But that's part of the game. I mean, isn't that more fun to experience all those highs? How back to back off-season champs, bro? Are you what are we talking about? Am I supposed to not be happy that the Bears are making moves that I want them to make because, I don't know, they might not win the Super Bowl? I couldn't care fucking less, man. I just want to experience the highs. I want to experience the happiness. I just want to be happy, Phil.
I just want to. I just want to have some fucking hope in September. Like
Yes.
I've had hope for way worse teams than the team that's going to be going into Hallis Hall in just a few short weeks for training camp. And yet I'm being told by a lot of people that I shouldn't be excited. And I'm being told by a bunch of fucking media members that I should give a shit that Caleb Williams did his due diligence and that his father is a good father. And that, oh, Caleb needs to talk about it. Caleb needs to talk about it. For who? For you? Like, because Bears fans, the majority of them, don't give a fuck. And they'd like to move on to something a lot more fun than the shit you guys are trying to peddle. It's so sickening. And,
Dude,
I think I can speak for Davey here when we have another joint jabroni of the week this week.
yes.
And jabronis, plural. And it's all of you fucking media members that keep focusing on everything that happened a year and a half ago. And by the way, he came to Chicago. He's here now. Ben Johnson's here now.
Come to Chicago. Phil wanted to.
Yes, he said, I can do it for this team. If that's not the sign of the fucking savior, I don't know what is. I mean, let's be honest. Peyton Manning or Eli Manning or John Elway, they would have fucking, they would have got it canceled. They would have been like, oh, yeah, we're not going to that team, we don't believe in that team. No, not Caleb Williams, man. He has a set of balls. I don't want to talk stuff about the Mannings. I do love the Mannings, but Eli did force his way to the Giants, and that's what I mean. It is what it is. But Bears fans, they are very fucking well aware of their history, and any quarterback worth their salt would have questioned whether or not we were going to take care of them. Any father that was worth a damn would have questioned if we were going to take care of his very, very talented son. Like all this what if crap and trying to bait a freaking quote out of Caleb Williams is garbage. You guys are my jabronis of the week. I'll let Dave speak on it now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, this has really been one of the worst run smear campaigns I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, really, and listen, the Chicago sports media has been awful, but the national media has been just as bad. But I'm going to still make the Chicago guys the jabronis, and here's why. Why are they giving guys like Ross Tucker and Kurt Warner a platform on Chicago media to savagely come after Caleb Williams? And then can you guys fucking spare me with the bullshit afterwards of this isn't a smear campaign, we're not hating on him, when you clearly are. I'm not dumb. Phil, are you dumb?
No, I'm not fucking dumb.
No, we're not dumb, okay? So when we see that you're clearly bashing Caleb Williams, you can't then pull back like a gigantic pussy and say you're not. We see what you're saying. We hear what you're saying. And for the Chicago sports media that has tried for 2 weeks now to manufacture this bullshit story and just continue to rage bait by bringing in these other national jabronis and creating false narratives about Caleb Williams just to then Dan Wiederer, I'm looking at fucking you for your trash ass tweet today on May 25th, where you said Bears Twitter was on edge and hyper reactive. Yes, Dan, because you specifically and all of your jabroni friends have been creating bullshit narratives, poking the bear and trying to manufacture outrage. And so, yes, we're tired of your bull. We're not just going to sit there and let you completely savage our team, then claim you're not doing it, and then blame us for being reactive to your nonsense. Dan specifically, but the rest of Chicago media, get the fuck out. You're all jabronis, man. Fuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, they wonder, a lot of these old school media heads are going to look around in 10 years and be like, what happened to our business? And it's going to be people fucking, generations changed and you guys didn't adapt with the times. And it's going to be the death of you. Like, maybe once upon a time, everyone wanted to read gloom and doom, but you guys fucking commingle real journalism with sports journalism in that, oh, we got to question everything. We got to be pessimistic about everything. We can't believe in shit. That's not fucking what sports are supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. Now, I do want a little bit of objective reporting, but you guys don't do objective reporting. That's the problem. Like it's super objective, leaning towards negative 24/7. God forbid you write a fucking happy article more than one time in a row. I mean, because God, I guess that doesn't get clicks. I mean, I don't know, man. It is what it is, but like, there's a reason why people are pivoting to podcasts and people are pivoting away from all these old school newspapers and shit. All these old media giants that used to run everything, and now you got ESPN bending over backwards for Pat McAfee because he has an entertaining program that makes sports fun, and because he doesn't fucking behold himself to all of the old ass fucking grandpa colossal fucking rules that used to be in journalism. Wake up, man. Smell the coffee and get your shit together.
Dude, I love what you said there, man, because so many of these media members that have been in business for so long, they think they're objective. But their idea of objectivity is just being opposite of an optimistic fan. It's not objective if you're lying and making a team or a player worse than they actually are, just to say you're different, just to say, well, that person is too optimistic. You can't just be too pessimistic and say you're objective. There is an objective middle. You guys just don't ever attempt to actually find it. But
very few.
The other problem is that their egos are way too large. So they refuse to hear that maybe they have gone too far past objectivity into the negative realm. They refuse to listen to the fans. They refuse to interact with the fans in a meaningful way. They think they've been put on a pedestal and that they are the only people that have a say in what's right and wrong in sports. I cannot stand it. And there's so few people that actually are worth listening to and following in Chicago sports media. There are some very good people out there. I mean, I don't know if you have anybody in particular you'd want to shout out, but I mean, like, I know that every team has one or two guys who are very down to earth, very much talk to people, interact with people, that want to create a community of Chicago fans. And those people are getting a ton of attention and they deserve it. Yeah. But the rest, man, it's gross. It's awful.
It is. Especially, like, I mean, you could just listen to a press conference, listen to the quality of questions that are asked of some of these athletes, and listen to how much of it is bait, and listen to how much of it is bullshit, and listen to how much of it contributes to educating a fan versus trying to stir some shit up or get a quote that will sell front headline newspapers. Like, I'll shout out one of the Bears media members who does do it right, at least 99% of the time. Courtney Cronin is very solid, dude.
Yeah.
She's very good. I think that she's great. She asks like intuitive, like intelligent questions at press conferences that aren't designed to piss off whoever she's asking the question of. They're meant to, dig a little deeper into a story versus to draw something that's not there. Like, it used to be in our society when athletes would get pissed off at some of the questions, that society just ran fully at the athlete. Like, what's wrong with them? Shouldn't they be grateful? Well, no, they're also human beings, and they're standing up there, and yes, they make a lot of money, but you're insulting their intelligence consistently as if they don't know more than you know as to what's going on back there. And like these anonymous sources, like, why are you anonymous? Dude, put your fucking name on it. I mean, I get why some of them are anonymous, but like, nobody ever stops to think why some sources say the things that they do. I have a problem with the way the entire sports journalism landscape is, and that's why I like new school journalism, which is, dude, let me talk to the players, and what they tell me, that's law, because they're the ones putting their body on the line. They're actually entertaining us out there. They're not fucking, trying to profit off of someone else's hard labor. They're putting in the work. They're in the locker room. They're building their relationships, and then you got a bunch of spies and everything else coming in and trying to fucking stir everything up. I'm really excited for the Ben Johnson era, as well as Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles, because I think they keep a tight ship. And I think that's what we also have seen the last couple of years, is people getting false information because they either leaked it on purpose to draw out the leaks in the ship, or they're just not giving out shit. So guys got to make things up and run with it. How about this? Educate yourself on the game and write something meaningful about the game. I mean, fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Hell yeah, Phil. No, you're spot on though. No, I think that there's a lot of negativity, and I just don't think it's objective. Now, there is some negativity that is objective. I don't know if you've seen Phil. I know you're not a big hockey guy, but if you don't mind me switching tunes, because it's kind of a perfect segue into talking about the fact that the Blackhawks did hire a new head coach this past week. Have you been seeing the outrage online about the hiring? I love how we're gonna go from like stop shitting on everybody to like also like, hey, by the way, have you seen how awful the reaction is to the hiring of Jeff Blashill for the Blackhawks?
But to be fair, his record as a head coach, like I'm totally completely 100% honest about my level of knowledge in every sport. Like I want to learn more in hockey, and I will as I'm able to transition more into this media field more often. But for now, Davey is definitely our Blackhawks expert, 100%. But I did see that this guy has a losing record as a head coach in the NHL, I think over 7 seasons. So, yeah that's not going to inspire a lot of confidence.
No, and so if you are a media member, right? If you wanna put your ego to the side, I will be happy to provide objective reasoning why I don't like this coaching hire, because there are some facts here. So first of all, Jeff Blashill, kind of a background of him. So he was the head coach for the AHL team, the minor league team for the Detroit Red Wings, the Grand Rapids Griffins. Probably their best head coach ever, and he was notorious for winning and for developing players. That was his entire mantra down there. He became the probably the best coach in the history of the Griffins. Gets promoted to the Red Wings at the end of their run of being a successful franchise. If you don't know the Detroit Red Wings, for the longest time, for most of our childhood, they were the team in the NHL. They won Stanley Cup they won one in the late 90s. I forget the exact year, maybe 97, maybe 98, one of the two. And they won one in 2002. They won a title in 2008. In 2009, they made the Cup Finals again and lost in 7 games to the Penguins. I mean, that was the franchise in all of hockey. And 2016 or so, all of a sudden, they hit the very bottom. I mean, they bottomed out about as hard as the Detroit Red Wings have bottomed out since maybe the 80s. I mean, they were in really, really bad shape. Well, the head coach during all that time is Jeff Blashill. And Jeff Blashill took over a very, very old team that clearly was not going to go anywhere. They knew it was going to be a rough time period. The Detroit Red Wings, in their worst year, in the shortened season of 2019-20, in 71 games, put up 39 points. That is one of the lowest numbers, even extrapolated down in NHL in our lifetime. I mean, they were one of the worst teams we've ever seen in our entire lives.
Jeff Blashill
it was really bad. Jeff Blashill was known for a few things that I think are really not good for the Blackhawks. First of all, he's notorious for trying to shake up lines. If you don't follow too much hockey, you really want the same players playing together all the time. That's how they gain chemistry. I mean, think about if you watch me and Phil's first episode compared to where we're at right now on whatever our 10th or 11th episode. I mean, it was embarrassing week 1. I mean, we were slow dancing at a 6th grade dance, right? I mean, we were arms length apart. We were that. I mean, and now me and Phil, we're juking on the dance floor. I mean, we are.
Hell yeah. Burning it up, baby. Burning up the dance floor. Hey, shout out to Jacob Infante for sticking with us. Shout out to Jacob Infante for sticking with us when we were starting out.
I can't believe he came back. We were awful.
Look, I know.
Look at them together now. When you have Connor Bedard, you don't want him to continuously play with different players. You want him to find 2 wingers and play together the whole time. But they have to be 2 good wingers. That's not what any coach has done for Connor Bedard so far. He has new line mates, it feels like, every week. Well, now we have a guy who's notorious for doing that. And we talk about development. There are a few players that developed really well in Detroit. There are also way more players that did not develop at all. If your mantra is development, when you have a young team like Jeff Blashill had in Detroit, You should be better than they were. You just didn't see players develop like a developer of players should develop guys. And so to me, when you take those two things into account that he's known for with the really poor record, to me, I don't see how this is a good hire for the Blackhawks. And I know exactly what happened. I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox right now. I'll get off it in a second.
No, get on it, baby. Get on it.
I know exactly what happened because the new owner, which of the Wirtz is the owner now? I get all their stupid names mixed up. My goodness. Blackhawks owner, Danny Wirtz. So the Wirtz family has owned the Blackhawks forever. And originally it was Danny's father, Bill Wirtz, who was the cheapest owner ever. Yes, cheaper than Jerry Reinsdorf. Yes,
What?
cheaper than Virginia McCaskey. Brother, his nickname was Dollar Bill because he would do anything to save a buck, man. He was the cheapest owner maybe ever. Dollar Bill Wirtz runs the team until he passes away. Immediately, his son, Rocky Wirtz, takes over. Now, Rocky Wirtz is the opposite. Back in the day, Dollar Bill Wirtz, so that he didn't have to pay, so that he could get more people to the stadium, didn't put home Blackhawks games on television. You couldn't watch home games unless you went to the Chicago Stadium, then the United Center. You literally couldn't watch home games. I'm not joking, Phil. Then Rocky comes in. First thing he does is like, wow, I need to build a fan base. So he puts every game on television. They start spending money on free agents. They bring in guys. They're willing to give out all these extensions. They pay money for really good coaches, really good executives, everything like that. And what happens? They win 3 Stanley Cups. They're a dynasty. They're the best team in all of hockey. Rocky passes away suddenly and unexpectedly. Very sad situation. Danny takes over, and immediately you hear that every single head coach pulls their name out of the running for the Blackhawks job. Why would every good coach not want to coach Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar and Artem Levshinov?
Yeah.
It's the money.
Yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pudding there.
Proof's in the pudding. I'm not happy with where the direction is for the Blackhawks, is all I'll say about that. But we still have Connor Bedard. We still have the number 3 pick in the draft. We still have Artem Levshinov, Frank Nazar, the Spencer Knight. The core is there. The players are coming in. I just don't know if Jeff Blashill's the guy that's going to take them to the next level is all.
It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. I mean, honestly, Chicago deserves like at least above average franchises in everything that they do, because this city should be sports royalty, and sport instead, like, especially over the last 4 years, we've been a sports laughingstock. I actually think combined winning percentage wise, the last 3 years were the worst 3 years in Chicago, like, major sports history. It's rough. It sucks. Now, that does coincide with, like, purposeful rebuilding for the Bears. Like, we had to tear down the fucking shit show that Ryan Pace put up. Things like that. However, you know, facts are the facts, and we have not seen many wins in Chicago, and it's a shame, man. It's a shame. This city deserves better. Deserves a winner. It really does.
No,
it deserves a CM Punk.
I do love CM Punk. He will never be the jabroni of the week. He is always the royalty here on this show. CM Punk, come on the podcast.
Come on the pod, CM Punk.
Well, I think I'm done yelling at clouds right now as a Blackhawks fan. I'm ready to see what's next. But coming up next is the Chicago Bears, and that's the next. You know, they're going to be starting up soon. They're in the middle of their offseason workouts. So today, every week, you know that me and Phil, we do a power ranking every single week. This week, man, we want to talk about the players that we are most excited for here in the 2025 Chicago Bears season. Now, we did go through a quick little draft before this, so we do have our 5 guys each. But we're going to talk about the 5 guys we're most excited to see this upcoming season. It could be for a multitude of different reasons. It could be because we think they're going to go crazy. It could be because maybe they're entering a contract year and we want to see how they're going to react to that. But there's a lot of different options. And Phil, I'm going to give you the floor, man. I want to hear, I don't think we're in any specific order, but give me your first guy that you're just super, super excited to see in 2025.
All right, yeah. I mean, so this guy, I've been pumping him up all offseason. I think this guy is going to be the key figure on Dennis Allen's defense. I think that he's going to have a breakout season, And you know what? He just got paid, baby. It is defensive back nickel Kyler Gordon. I think that he's going to be like literally so key to what Dennis Allen wants to do. I've been predicting that he's going to have 5 interceptions and 5 sacks this season for quite some time. You can go back a few months or a couple months and see that prediction. I think, and I think it's just because I believe in his get off the line. Because I think the 5 interceptions isn't that surprising. He's a ball hawk. But I think when people hear 5 sacks too, they're like, wait, what? But like, watch the man blitz. Bring up some of his blitzes. He times the snap extremely well. And he's buried some quarterbacks in his time. I think he's going to bury some more this season. So I think that him getting paid is just the first step for him. I don't think that he's going to take a day off. And I don't think Dennis Allen nor Al Harris are going to let him. I think that Kyler Gordon is in for a career season. And that's why he is my number one person that I'm most excited for in 2025-26.
Yeah, I love it, man. You know I'm a Kyler Gordon guy. I'm super excited to see him as well. You've been hyping him up, man. I guess I was already excited, but I'm not on Phil's level of excitement for Kyler Gordon. I wasn't until Phil, kind of he drives a good point there, man. Kyler could be the guy this year. He could be the whole he could be the whole defense, man. He could do everything, and I'm really excited to see what he does this year as well. I'm going to stay in the defensive secondary for my first guy, actually, because I think that when you have a guy who gets injured, plays the rest of the game, then sits out literally, I swear to God, the entire rest of the season, there's got to be something there, right? There's got to be a reason why. So when I think about the fact that Jaquan Brisker is now back at practice, he's ready to go. I mean, he's on Twitter saying he's ready to rock. I think that he was severely hampered by not liking Matt Eberflus. Whatever was going on in that locker room, I think it really got to him. And so to me, I'm really excited to see what he does with a new defense. I'm excited with a new coaching staff, new chemistry, new atmosphere at Halas Hall. To me, Jaquan Brisker, I mean, this is his chance. This is his last year on his rookie deal. So either he's going to put up or he's going to shut up and he's going to have to go to the free agency market. And I don't think Jaquan Brisker, as of right now, this very second, has a very big market. I don't think that teams would be falling over themselves for a guy who gets injured a lot and has very clear faults, especially downfield. So I think that he really needs to prove himself this year, but I think he will. I think he's going to be a big part of the defense.
Hell yeah, man. I would tend to agree, man. I think that Jaquan Brisker is going to have a good year. I think that I agree with what you're saying about him and Matt Eberflus. There was something weird there. I can't remember the exact tweet he had after Eberflus got fired, but like he said something that was like, oh shit, like he hates Eberflus. So I'm very curious to see what happens with him. I think that, as long as he can stay injury free, he will make himself some money, but he's got to stay on the field 100%. For my second pick, I'm going to go with a guy that I think is being slept on, both by the fans and by the organization a little bit, based on the signings and the draft picks that I've seen this offseason. And that's Gervon Dexter. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they're not sleeping on him, and they have just this grand plan for him that I'm not fully aware of, but it looked like he showed up thinner to OTAs. It looks like he's in great shape, but not necessarily maybe D-tackle shape. I don't know if he's going to get moved. Like, it might be D-tackle shape, honestly. I don't know if he's going to play a little bit of, outside, inside, outside type of thing. Like, God, his name is escaping me, the guy that we just let go that we had gotten from Tennessee. He used to do the same thing. But I think that Gervon Dexter has a chance to blow up. I think he has a really great work ethic. I think that he wants to be great. I think that Grady Jarrett being there is underrated, a very underrated part of what he might be able to accomplish this season. Because when you have that kind of veteran presence in your position group out there, like giving you tips, tricks, and the whole rest of it, I think it's going to really benefit Gervon Dexter's game. And whether he ends up more playing D end or more playing D tackle, I think he's going to make plays. So I'm excited for Gervon Dexter. And, how fitting, I guess, is it that we've picked up the early second rounders in Ryan Poles' early tenure so far. A lot of pressure on those boys, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you're not kidding, man. But Dexter, he's the kind of guy who I think he's impressed so far. I think that a lot of people didn't like the pick, especially when you back up taking Gervon Dexter by immediately then taking Zach Pickens. Of course, Zach with the extra C. It kind of felt like, why are we getting two defensive tackles this early in the same draft?
Yeah.
But if Gervon Dexter has a vision for maybe playing a little bit outside, like you were mentioning, maybe he's positionless on the defensive line, which he very well could be. Eventually it ends up working out. And you got two opportunities at a starting caliber defensive tackle, and you hit on one. The other, let's move on. Um, to me, I'm not a Zach Pickens guy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with my next guy here, man. You were talking a little bit about the signings, and so another place that the Bears have put a lot of money into is the weapons room. They put high draft capital into two guys. I'm naming one of them right now. I'm talking about Luther Burden, man. I'm really excited to see what he does as a
Okay.
rookie. I think he feels super duper slighted by not being a first round pick. Again, I mean, we talked about it before, but this is a guy who showed up as the top prospect in the history of Missouri football and then just balled. All he did in college was ball. When you're that high of a prospect and you meet expectations consistently and even exceed expectations in some cases, you don't expect to go second round. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's a really good fit for Ben Johnson's offense. I think he's really good at running those inseam routes, man, and Ben Johnson loves them. I mean, I was joking the other day on Twitter, but I saw him catch a ball, or Dunze catch a ball across the middle, and I was like, oh my God, a Bears wide receivers running across the middle. What is going on? I haven't seen that in years now. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see he fits really well with Ben Johnson. Again, he's a rookie, man. I'm not expecting him to put up 100 catches and 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. But I am expecting him to run some good routes. I'm expecting to see him get open. I'm expecting Caleb Williams to hit him right in the chest, man. I'm excited to see those two start connect.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I think, for my third pick, I'm going to go in the same vein as you with Luther Burden, but I'm going to go to Rome Odunze. And I think it's because more than anything, I really believed in this guy coming out of college. I thought that his character for his talent level is very, it's exceptional for a wide receiver. It's, most wide receivers, especially as talented as Odunze, have large egos that you have to manage. But Odunze is almost like ego free, man, unless he's super good at hiding it. Like, I feel like he's a team first guy. He'll do whatever's asked of him. He puts in the work. I think he's going to be a stud this year, and I think he's a great player from a team chemistry perspective. And I'm really excited to see what he could do this year. I mean, the fourth quarter connection between Rome and Caleb last year was special. Like, it was really, really special. Multiple times when the game was on the line, Caleb went to Rome, and not only on just like a slant pattern, it was like back shoulder fades, and he nailed almost all of them when the game was in balance. So I'm excited very much for Rome Odunze. I would not be surprised if he ended up becoming the number one receiver on the Bears this season. And it's not just on DJ Moore. I just think that's how good and complete Rome Odunze is.
Wow. No, I love it, man. I mean, listen, he's got the measurables, he's got the speed, he runs good routes. There's no doubt about it. Now, what I will say is Ben Johnson made clear in his introductory press conference, no block, no rock. Rome Odunze, that's the one thing he knows he has to work on, but I see a guy who's going to work at it. I see a guy who's going to take that to heart and say, hey, I know I didn't block well last year. He's talking about me, man. I better get out there and bust my ass to get better at it. I'm excited to see what he does this year. I think I agree. I think if you were to ask me right now, I think he's the number one receiver for the Bears this year. I would agree with you on that one over DJ Moore. I do think so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. And I mean, if Luther Burden ends up being what everyone says he could be, I wonder how long it's going to be before, DJ Moore ends up on the trading block. I'm not saying I would do it. I like being deep at that position very much. And so it's not a position that, historically we've been able to keep a lot of really great to elite players at. So I hope that he'll see the vision and re-sign. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be curious, man. Like, I feel like DJ Moore is that one guy who can either be like blow everybody away on this team as the number one receiver, or if he ended up as the number 3 receiver, I also wouldn't be shocked which is weird. Like I feel like there's a lot of variable in there for DJ Moore. And I hope he proves me wrong, man. I mean, he had a great year with Justin Fields his first year. Hopefully, him and Caleb have ironed out their kinks, and they have a real offensive coordinator now. And hopefully, that's going to pay off in spades.
Yeah, and the thing about it too, man, is when you look at DJ Moore's stats, it really is just a lot of, I think it's just scheme, man. I think it was just scheme. I really do, because when you look at it, man, I mean, listen, we're talking about how good his first year in Chicago was. You know, he had more catches this last year, right?
Did he? Okay.
More.
I think I knew that, but you did remind me.
98 catches this year compared to 96 last year. The difference is he was 4 yards less per catch, and he caught 2 fewer touchdowns. I mean, if you block for him, if you stop throwing those stupid screen passes where nobody's blocking in front of him, if you start putting him in the middle of the field where he uses speed and his really good route running to get open, he could be even better than he was in 2023.
Yes. 100%.
Neither one of us picked him as one of our guys. That's so funny. Now we're talking about him. But I'm going to go to my next guy, man, because there's a guy who I'm just really excited to see. Again, 2 years in a row now, they've drafted somebody in his position. It's the last year of his contract. He's been talked about as a player who you can give or take for like 3 years now, man. But how is Braxton Jones going to react? How is Braxton Jones going to perform this year? You know, last year, you look at his pass blocking numbers, they weren't awful. He was a good pass blocker. He was a good pass blocker, too. Not just like, well, they were okay. He was a good pass blocker. Now, he has some faults. Does he anchor well? He gets pushed back before he anchors. But a lot of NFL offensive linemen do that. This year, he does not have excuses. You have 4 other good offensive linemen next to you now. You have to perform. Yeah. You have to compete. And if you're not, they have options now. Karan Amagaji, Ozzie Trapillo. I mean, these are guys who can take over your spot. I know a lot of people are calling for Ozzie already, saying give him a chance. Braxton Jones, how are you going to react, man? What are you going to do to show in your contract year? They got to pay you those big bucks. I think he could have a huge year, or we could see Ozzie or Karan out there by week 8. I could go either way.
Wouldn't it be some shit if I'm sorry, I did lose my train of thought there. I apologize. Let's move on.
Love the honesty.
Yes. Man, that was messed up. Anyways, I did have another player that I am looking out for next season, and it is a position that the last 2 actually are positions that I played in high school. So Drew Dahlman, center. Yeah. I'm so excited to have a Bears center that's going to be worth a shit. That's going to be able to, hopefully they could long snap the ball. I mean, that's something that you iron out in high school, ideally. The fact that hopefully, like, you know, a blitzing middle linebacker won't just truck our starting center and run in and cream Caleb, that would be nice. You know, I'm not looking for much here. I'm looking for a center that can get, you know, back in pass protection, punch, hold his ground, stop a bull rush. It would be wonderful to see that. So I'm very excited for Drew Dahlman. And also, I mean, we paid him to be a top 5 center. So I hope that he continues, or that he shows that he is that, and that he dominates the season at a level that we haven't seen since Olin Kreutz.
Yes. Shout out Olin Kreutz. Come on the podcast.
Come on the podcast.
No, I'm really excited about Drew Dahlman, man. But my number 4 guy, I mean, we're going to go through the whole left side of the offensive line now, because I'm putting up the guy right next to him. I'm putting up Joe Thuney as my number 4, man. You just got an extension, added a couple years to your deal. You're going to be 36 at the end of it. You know, but listen, man, he doesn't have to prove a damn thing. He doesn't prove anything. He was an offensive lineman who got actual MVP votes last season. I mean, he was voted by a voter as one of the 5 most valuable players in all of football. He is that good. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited to watch Joe Thuney. I mean, when was the last time you felt like you had a player who was, no doubt about it, absolutely 100% the best player at their position, and potentially even their position rank in all of football? Who is the last Bear player that you go, yes, 1,000%, he's the best at that in football, no doubt about it?
Jalen Johnson?
Devin Hester is who I thought of.
Okay. Yeah,
That's who I
yeah. I
thought
mean,
of.
yeah. Devin Hester was without a doubt the best returner in the game. No questions asked. It's hard otherwise. I mean, there was once upon a time where we had the best receiving duo in the game for like a summer, Brandon
One
Marshall and
season.
Alshon Jeffrey,
Yes,
but
love those two.
it lasted for a summer before Mark Trestman's second year went completely south. So I'm very excited to have. I mean, it feels like there's like a reality, right, where we could have the best center, the best left guard, and the best right tackle if Darnell Wright takes a step,
I
or
like where your head's
you
at,
know,
Phil.
five. I mean, we could have the best player at their positions, and at 3 out of the 5 like spots on the offensive line, after the stuff that we've been through, it would be incredible. I need to see it. I really can't wait for that starting offensive line to build a pocket around Caleb Williams in week 1 and to watch all of the Vikings defenders just fail utterly to get to the quarterback and Caleb just piece up the Vikings on Monday Night Football. It would be glorious.
What?
I need it.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I'm a trenches guy, man. I'm a trenches guy through and through. I think you win football in the trenches. I don't care how good the quarterbacks are. I
you
don't care
do.
how fast the receivers are getting. I don't care about any of it. I think you win football in the trenches still. And that's why I think last year didn't work. I think you have a bad culture and are bad in the trenches. It doesn't matter who you have a quarterback. It's not going to work. I don't think so. To me, you now have a culture. You have a very, very smart play caller. Your coaching is going to be really good. I think you're going to be really good, at least on one side of the ball in the trenches. The other side, I want to see it happen. I think with Grady Jarrett and Shamar Stewart being added to Sweat and Dexter and Billings, you very well could. I think it's very exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. I'm very pumped up to see it, man. I mean, you're right when you say that the battle is won in the trenches, and that's also why I went with my last pick here. And maybe it's not the trenches per se, but he is the leader of the defense, and he should be leading the run stop effort as well as leading the pass stopping effort in this 4-3 defense. And I picked Tremaine Edmonds for my last pick
Wow.
in this pick. I'm sorry, in this draft of players that we're most excited to watch because I feel like Tremaine Edmonds had like his first year with the Bears. It wasn't that bad. Like it was okay.
He was good.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. He turned the ball over, right? It was something that we weren't getting from his predecessor. Love Roquan Smith. Don't shoot me. But Roquan Smith doesn't turn the ball over. It's something that Tremaine did do in his first year here. But last year he fell off. Now, I'm willing to give everybody that played shitty football last year, including someone that didn't make our list, Tyreek Stevenson. Like, I want to see you guys bounce back. Show me it was, look, you guys hated your coaching staff. You had the worst coaching staff in football. You couldn't help it. It is what it is. And now you're here to, do the job for a coaching staff that's worth a damn. I think Tremaine Edmonds has that in him. He's still incredibly young for a guy that's felt like he's been in this league forever. And he's still a young player. And he does fit the prototypical size for what you want in your 4-3 middle linebacker. You want a big, fast, rangy guy that can take away the deep middle in a cover 2 zone. So it's something Roquan couldn't do. It's why we did go with Tremaine Edmonds. But last season he didn't get it done. And that's not an easy position to fill. So I'm very hopeful that our improved defensive line, our improved coaching, and our improved just all around, like the improved team all around Tremaine will allow him to make the plays that he was making his first year here. And who knows, maybe he can even have his best year yet as a Bear. I know it's asking for a lot. There's a lot of people that really dislike Tremaine Edmonds, but I'm willing to give him a try, and hopefully he proves a lot of people wrong this season. I'm excited for him.
Yeah. No, I love that pick, man. Listen, I mean, here's the thing with Tremaine Edmonds, right? I mean, he is athletically as gifted as any linebacker that's ever played the sport of football. I mean, he is like 6'4", 6'5". He runs a running back 40. He's long. I mean, he is everything you could ask for. He's just a little too reactive. I think with good coaching, I think with somebody like Dennis Allen, who's going to allow him to be a little more aggressive. He likes to give his linebackers a lot. He likes to put his linebackers in good positions. That's kind of Dennis Allen. You look at guys who played with Dennis Allen who weren't really successful elsewhere. They come to New Orleans or before that in Vegas. They have some of the best runs of their careers. So to me, You see what Dennis Allen did for Alex Anzalone, who is still successful now in Detroit. Well, he first started by being in New Orleans, and he really took off when Dennis Allen came over and was a part of the coaching staff. So to me, I think there's a lot of options there for Tremaine Evans to have a really big season. I'm a big fan of that. And it leads me to my number 5, man.
I fucking hate Anzalone. I
Anal
fucking hate that guy. God, he's a solid player, but he's a dirty son of a bitch.
He's a dick. Me and my friends we just call him Anal Zone.
I love it,
dude. Shout out to my boys in TC for Anal Zone, man. That's good stuff. My number 5, though, man, I'm going. Listen, I mean, if you've listened to the show, we kind of hint about it here and there, man. But I am a big fan of the University of Michigan. In fact, I'm gonna give a hearty. Who's got it better? Nobody. Because that's what we say. And what we're saying now is, man, we're saying how excited we are for Colston Loveland, man. And listen, I've heard Bears fans, and listen, Bears fans have been pretty excited about Colston Loveland, but I've heard a lot of fans who don't understand drafting a tight end at 10. I get that. I don't think Colston Loveland is a tight end at 10. I think Colston Loveland is going to play in the slot. I think Colston Loveland is a weapon that's going to be utilized from tight end position in a way that most other tight ends can't be used. And I've said it before on some appearances I've been on is, listen, everyone says that Colston Loveland's comp is Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta's comp is Colston Loveland. Because Colston Loveland can do all the things Sam Laporta did, except he does them better. There's a reason Laporta fell to the second. There's a reason Colston Loveland was drafted 10th, and as soon as he got drafted, teams stopped trying to trade up in the draft. There's a reason, because he is that big of a weapon. I think he's going to have a huge season. I think he's going to be a Bear for life. I think he's going to have a huge career. I think he's going to go down as one of those very, very special tight ends that really the Bears haven't had a special tight end since freaking Mike Ditka. I mean, Desmond Clark. Love Desmond Clark, man. He was no Antonio Gates of that time, right? I love Martellus Bennett. He was there for 2 years. I love Greg Olsen. He was there for 3 years. We just haven't had that level of guy. And we haven't had that guy in Cole Kmet either, who's been good, who I don't want to get rid of. I'd like for him to be on the team still for as long as possible, but he's not that supernova level player like I think Colston Loveland can very well become. So he's my number 5, man. I'm really excited for him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Colston Loveland's he's gonna bring something new to the Bears offense. I'll say this, putting aside his criminal history and his ultimate end, the Patriots didn't just stop when they drafted. I can't remember who came first, whether it was Rob Gronkowski or Aaron Hernandez, but they went back to the well and they got the other guy as well. And they did that for a reason. It's because they complemented each other. And look what happened with that. Now, I'm not saying that these guys are two of the greatest tight ends that ever played the game, but I'm saying that their dynamic is similar. And I like what you said about Colston Loveland being a weapon. I think you're hoping he's Brock Bowers light. You don't need him to be Brock Bowers, but nobody's Brock Bowers. So, I'm excited for it, man. Very much.
Yeah. But and the other thing is, man, I kept hearing Tyler Warren being comped to Brock Bowers. So lazy, right? Whoa, is he gonna be the next Brock Bowers? Just because Tyler Warren had some big games at Penn State does not mean he comps to Brock Bowers. And in fact, the two of those guys, Colston Loveland comps a lot closer to Brock Bowers than Tyler Warren, just on the style of play, on their measurables, all that. It's Colston Loveland who looks a lot closer to Brock Bowers than Tyler Warren. So, yeah, man, that's a great point. People aren't talking about that enough. Those comps were insane. Tyler Warren is an inline blocker. I mean, he's gonna be his best as a blocker. He can receive, but I just don't see him as the weapon that Colston Loveland is. I think they're different players, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think that Tyler Warren's more of your traditional tight end, but Colston Loveland's going to be that down the field playmaker at tight end. I think he's going to bring. Ben Johnson drafted Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren for a reason. Ben Johnson was a tight end coach. Excuse me if I take Ben Johnson's opinion for it. Just saying.
Over Dan Wiederer? Is he serious?
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
what
no,
side
I'm
he was
sure.
on. I'm just throwing a name out from earlier.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Phil,
I mean, I'm
Phil,
sure Dan has something negative to say about that pick. I'm sure he does.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it was miserable. Phil, I don't mean to throw
Yeah,
you in the spot right here, man. You want to take us home today?
sure, man. So, Davey, tell us where the people can find you.
You can find me at DavyDots17 on Twitter/X. You could also find me at ProfanePod hanging out with Phil. Phil is a maestro over there. All of his stuff is hilarious and great. I know you hate when I steal your thunder and say that about you because you like to say it about me. But Phil's the man over
I
there.
do.
He's always sharing a bunch of cool stuff about the Bears and the Bulls. I throw in some Cubs stuff here and there and some wrestling stuff. I wonder if there's anywhere else that we might be getting some wrestling content soon, Phil. I don't know if you have any insight on that.
I do. I do. I was going to say, you can find me, of course, at the tags. You know what? Our names don't pop up on the video. It's at JC Phil, JAYC Phil, or at JAY Shy _ Bulls, or at Profane Pod, hanging out with Davey. And coming very, very soon, when I say soon, I mean soon, will be Just Another Year Pro Wrestling, which me and Dave will be heading that project. And I'm very, very excited. We unveiled the logo last night on our stream for a Saturday night main event. Maybe we can work it into this video right here. I'm sure that we can. When I just said it right now, maybe we could flash it up here, whatever. The accounts will be up very, very soon. So I can't imagine they're going to be, I don't know the handles yet, but they're going to be very much like probably J Pro Wrestling. I mean, we're going to keep it simple for the people. So we'll see what's up.
You gotta
But
follow us. Follow Profane Pod. We'll be all over that.
that's a fact. And me and Davey got some awesome ideas for that. We're gonna really bring some content that wrestling fans are not seeing from any other wrestling content creators, and very excited for that project. So I appreciate Nick for giving us the opportunity to spread our wings into sports entertainment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Come on the pod.
Close us up, brother.
Nick knows that he has a standing invite whenever he can, but he is a very busy, busy man. But we will have him on at some point. But as always, my name is Phil Charles Vanderhayden IV, a.k.a. Pimp Daddy P, a.k.a. PCV the Fourth. And I am here with my man Davey, a.k.a. Dirty Dave, a.k.a. Davey Dots, a.k.a. That Smooth Criminal. And thank you all for being here with us on this episode of the Professionally Profane. But until next time, we will see you soon.